Hi everyone, welcome in Dental Zone. Today I am discussing about the clinical consideration of saliva. This is the part 2 and please go through the part 1 of saliva. This is helpful for you. So now we start clinical consideration of saliva. We all know that the saliva is the principal protector of the hard and soft oral tissue. And why we call this is the principal protector, we earlier know that saliva has the major function in protection because they have the buffering action and it lowers the temperature of the oral cavity to protect our oral mucosa. So this is the principal protector and so many functions are present in saliva, like flushing action and washing action. So any alteration in the saliva, like alteration like nature of saliva, flow rate of saliva, secretion of saliva, and composition of saliva, any alteration in saliva that can affect the quality of life. Thus, sign and symptoms of salivary dysfunction should be accurately diagnosed and treated. We all know that salivary gland has present everywhere in the oral cavity except anterior portion of the hard palate, so careful examination is needed to identify the cause of the disease. Now we come over the part of the pathologic conditions that is related from the salivary gland. These include inflammatory, infective, viral, bacterial or allergic, and the condition leads to inflammation of the salivary gland. And what will they cause? They cause decreased secretion of the salivary gland, and after all, the condition known as sialadenitis. Sialadenitis can occur as a result of decreased saliva flow or inflammation or the blockage of the salivary duct. So pathologic conditions, now we discuss one by one. Some systemic and metabolic diseases, it also affects the flow rate of saliva. The major gland, especially the parotid gland, may become enlarged during starvation, protein deficiency. Alcoholic person, they have the enlarged parotid gland, and pregnancy, it may occur to enlargement of the gland. In diabetes mellitus, and liver disease, these all systemic and metabolic diseases, salivary flow affected, and rate of saliva and flow rate of saliva and secretion of saliva get affected. A variety of benign and malignant tumor which affect the salivary gland. The benign tumor of salivary gland, that is pleomorphic adenoma, Warthin's tumor, oncocytoma, myoepithelioma, ductal papilloma, monomorphic adenoma, basal cell adenoma, canalicular adenoma. These are the benign tumor of the salivary gland, and it affects the gland secretions, nature of saliva, composition of saliva. Malignant tumor of the salivary gland, mucoepidermoid carcinoma, this is the minor salivary gland malignant tumor. And the other one, that is acinic cell carcinoma, adenoid cystic carcinoma, polymorphous low grade adenocarcinoma, and carcinoma arising in pleomorphic adenoma. So these are the pathologic condition which affect the salivary gland, so careful examination always needed. Certain autoimmune disease like Sjogren's syndrome, this disease related and affect to salivary gland. The Sjogren's syndrome, that is the condition in which it is related to the dry eye, dry mouth, and rheumatoid arthritis. After the autoimmune disease, some genetic disease that also affect the salivary gland, as an example, cystic fibrosis, sarcoidosis, these are the conditions where the salivary gland get affected. One of the most common surface lesion of the oral mucosa is vesicular elevation, and it is also called mucocele. Mucocele is produced due to the severance of the duct of a minor salivary gland and pooling of the saliva in the tissue, and it is due to the obstruction of the minor salivary gland, and here the fluid is present in the tissue. A blockage of salivary gland duct may occur after formation of a mucus or calcified plug within the duct. If it is occur in minor salivary gland, it may become less painful or no pain is there. But if obstruction occur in the major salivary gland, it is very painful, like a condition known as silolithiasis, in which there is obstruction of the submandibular duct, that is known as the Watson duct. The presence of one or more calcified stones, that is known as siloliths, either within the salivary gland itself or within its duct, that is Watson duct. Other pathologic condition of salivary gland, that is nicotinic stomatitis. In this, the hard palate is whitened by hyperkeratinization around the duct opening of minor salivary gland. We can appreciate here the hyperkeratinization around the duct opening of minor salivary gland, and it is mainly caused due to the heat from the tobacco use. The heat causes inflammation of the duct opening, which becomes dilated. Age changes in salivary gland, particularly prominent in parotid gland, in which gradual replacement of the parenchyma with fatty tissue, and age changes are acinar atrophy, ductal dilatation, fatty infiltration, fibrosis, periacinar callus formation, and inflammatory infiltration. This is the age changes of salivary gland, and it also affects the secretion of saliva, rate of flow of saliva. Now, there are percentage of acinar cell lost in submandibular gland is 40%, parotid gland it is 30%, and the minor labial glands it is 45%. So this is the age change of the salivary gland. And after that, we will discuss separate lecture of xerostomia and tylism. This is the clinical consideration related to the salivary gland, and we will discuss it in part 3. So please continue with our lectures. Thank you very much. If you like, please share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.